Hi everyone, it's ScrappyKathy back again for another in the Fun with Distress Oxides collaborative series. Today I'm going to do something, I experiment a lot, and today I'm going to experiment and with the intent of using my experiment on my layout. So just to give you a little bit of background on what I've done with the background, I've used this stencil, and here I've used a variety of mediums to kind of go around and drag through the stencil. I've used the Jane Davenport matte medium right in this area here. I just dropped something. I used a soft gel gloss medium right in this area, the part that kind of looks wet on the camera. This Dimensional Effects paintable texture paste is the only texture paste I used for the longest time, and I've used it over here, and at some point when I was using it a while back, I got some blue powdered color in it, and some of that blue has bloomed right in here, and I don't really mind. This is the modeling paste I use the most often now. I like it because it sucks up color from underneath it, and it gives it kind of a variation. The color is never as vivid as it gets sucked through, so it provides dimension not only in the texture of the paste itself, but also in the variation of color. So I kind of like that. And let's see, what's my other one? Oh, I use right here, this kind of concrete looking stuff is something I've never used before. It's called snow paste, and it's by Recollections, and it does look like snow. May not be what I'm going for here, so I'm going to take these little labels off. I had those on so I could remember what I had done. I'm going to put the stencil back on the way it was on at first, and now I'm going to add color, and then we'll see what we can do with the layout. The three colors I'm using, first of all, I'll kind of show you the photos I've selected are these two of Ava, and they're joyful, wonderful laughs, and it's an expression on her face that we see all too seldom these days. So I thought I'd celebrate them here. So I've pulled my colors from there. I'm using a worn lipstick, picked raspberry, and seedless preserves, which is a little pinker purple than it even looks on the cover. So what I'm going to do is apply these. I'm going to start applying, and this is the part that's kind of experimental, and I have no idea how it's going to turn out. So I'm going to kind of drag it across in various areas to see. I'll get each color. I'll try to include each color on each medium. And I'm going to kind of observe right here, I think was where I changed to this paintable texture paste. It has a little bit of a surface that seems to accept the color a lot better than the matte medium. So that's kind of an observation we'll make. I'm going to go now. I picked the lightest color. I'm going to now go with this brighter pink. I'm going to hit there. And the thing that's going to be interesting, we could probably just leave these colors as they are. You can kind of see we're getting a little bit of a resist effect down here in the glossy gel medium. We're going to see what happens with water, because the oxides, that's the wonderful thing about the oxides, is or any of the Distress inks, is how they react with water. And it's kind of fun to watch and guess. I'm going to almost finished here. Now what I'm going to do is kind of mess it all up. I'll take the stencil off, and that in itself is kind of pretty. It's very, very different. If I had it to do over again, I might not use something as textured as this snow paste, but I didn't know. I'd never used it before, so you live and learn. So now I'm looking for my spray water bottle. And I'm going to just kind of hit it and see what we end up with. I'm kind of liking that it's moving the color around, and the base underneath is getting some color. I want to see what the snow paste does kind of up close here. That's interesting. I want the color to move around outside the perimeter here, so I'm spraying along the edges to get some of that movement, and then I'm going to, once I get it kind of around, you can kind of notice that it's moving the most around the non-dimensional mediums, almost in a resist pattern, whether it's matte or glossy. So now I'm going to take the paper towel roll. Okay, now that actually picked up almost too much of the color. So here's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to take this guy, which has the purpler color on it, and kind of tap it around. I'm going to spray a little more and maybe do a lighter wiping. Okay, that seems to be holding more of the color. All right. I'm going to say that I'm willing to live with it just like that. Now, I envisioned, I placed the stencil up in this upper left-hand corner area because I envisioned that's how I'd arrange my photos, and I'm kind of looking at arranging the photos this way, and I thought I'd overlap that. But I think because the texture is so different in this area with the snow paste, that's an area I may want to not cover up entirely, but maybe cover up more so than the other areas. So let me get some foam tape to get this. Note to self, need to have all supplies handy before you lock yourself in to the filming location. I'm going to place this here, let it kind of overlap that. Now I'm fully realized that this is wet, and I'm going to I'm not going to expect to adhere anything to it while it's wet, but if I do this here, I'm allowing some of this glossy medium that's resisting and staying white while the color is being absorbed into the... Okay, here, let me do it this way. Now that is on something wet. I like that the photos are somewhat offset there, and I kind of want to mat them with just an angular slice of paper kind of coming out like this on the outer edges, the opposite outer edges. Let me go with something a little wider there. I'll do that. And I want to add a black and white element because I really like the black and white that's in this one photo. That pillow shows that's always been a favorite element of that photo. Okay, I like that. I have cut out some, I want to embellish fairly simply. I've cut out some Vicky Bouton flowers from a collection of hers that I like. I've got some journaling done on a card that has a sentiment that I don't think I'm interested in keeping. I thought I might do it this way over in conjunction with the flower. And again, I don't want to cover up everything that I have underneath. So I've got these things. I'm doing, with this layout, I'm also doing a layout for Mercy Tiara's 27-day challenge. And I've got, let me stick this. What I'm doing here is that the requirements for that challenge are a theme of thankfulness, 3 pattern papers, at least 1 punch, a dimensional sticker, and some journaling. So I've used punches or a punch for this, these banners. I'm going to let them overlap a bit, and then I'll cut off the edges that come up. I don't happen to have any dimensional stickers, so I made one with another punch. I have a triple punch for a butterfly, the underneath, and then the one on top. So I've created my own dimension there. I'm going to put it at an angle here so that the heart shows, and I've got what I've done is put a very thin strip of dimensional tape, foam tape, and then I've separated, curled the wings to add to the dimension. I've found a really nice, a little laugh loudly sticker to put on there. Let's see, I found something on here. Oh, my title. I love, this is a sticker sheet from Maggie Holmes, and I thought that going along with the thankfulness theme, I thought my heart is full sentiment was good, and I haven't really thought too much about where to put it. My 3 pattern papers, by the way, are this pink and white Amy Tangerine. This is from a paper pad, I'm not sure who by. And the black and white is Bella Boulevard, Just Add Color. And I've used those behind there. Then there's this Vicky Bouton with the flowers. I'm going to pop those up. Actually, I'll attach those later. Let me add my title, and then I'm going to call this finished. And I can, let's see, it doesn't fit here. It may fit here. That's where it's going to work. Let me punch out the details there in this. I'm having trouble seeing them if I'm trying to see them through the camera lens. Here's another. So I'll tack this on. Just while I'm doing this, be sure to check out my collaborators in this series, whose links are in the description. And I'm going to I don't really want to try to overlap that. Well, but I think I'm going to. Okay, so there's I don't have my glue handy to attach those flowers, and I'm not sure whether I'm going to use pop dots or not. So essentially, here's my completed layout, journaling included. I've used the black and white accents to bring out the pillow, added a little laugh loudly sticker sentiment, chosen a sticker sentiment for the title, again with the black and white kind of reinforcing that theme. I used all the pattern papers up here. I cut banners out of them, made my own dimensional sticker, and added a heart to kind of reinforce that bright pink. So I'm really happy that I ran this. I'm happy that little glitch of blue shows there. I like the movement that the water gave it, and I like that the texture that came from the stencil isn't the same all the way around. So another example of ways that you can use your Distress Oxides and any other mixed media materials that you happen to have on hand. Thanks a lot. Enjoy the rest of the series.